A lot of people are going to be retiring earlier than they imagined, and the reason is the massive rise in the stock market. Whilst they might not own these stocks that you see here, some of which year to date have gone up 3,000% in the case of Kendrick Resources and Tech Create Group, and we'll do a deeper analysis into those in just a second. It is the fact that even those lower down, and I've got Dell, which is on here somewhere, are up triple digits. And not just that, more companies than just the odd one in your portfolio are up over triple digits. That's led to a sharp spike upwards in the value of your pension. And even if going forward it were to go back to its normal state of poor returns of, let's say, I don't know, whatever your wealth manager's generating for you, 5% per annum, you're now compounding at a higher level because of this year, and if you are fortunate enough, then because of 2023, 2024, and 2025. Unusual to have so many spectacular years, helped in part, obviously, by the boom in semiconductors and memory chips, all as a result of the background noise of AI. So let's have a deeper dive into this, because actually it shows that AI is not the only game in town. Basic Materials, Kendrick, and of course the New York Stock Exchange and the LSE are the top two movers. BATS, there you've got Swedish company Sivers, albeit in semiconductors, but still not NASDAQ. NASDAQ only comes in at number 4, with Stack up 1,148%. Energy. A lot of the energy companies have been booming because of the demand by AI companies, data centers, and so on. You've got industrials, Geelong Holdings. We then move a bit further down. What's interesting with a lot of these companies is both their market capitalization. Most of them aren't very big. They're actually not unicorns. Of course, Stack is more than £1,000 million. So $1 billion company, a unicorn. You've got Soitec at 4.5. But the vast majority, if you look down here, are well below that billion level. I'll reveal some of the names over here. So what does that say? And also the sectors are not just tech, though tech is well represented. What's also striking is that you've got quite a few in healthcare, basic materials. But healthcare, I guess, is the second most after. What is also striking is that they're loss-making. Now, that, to me, increases their risk, as does the market capitalization of them being relatively small companies. That tends to make them more volatile, and in a future video, I'll add the volatility onto this. If you like what you see on screen, do save this video for later. I'm Alpesh Patel, a hedge fund manager. Now, what I also want to show you is just because these have been doing well, of course, it doesn't mean they're going to continue doing so. That would be a hypothesis based on trends. You'd be saying if something year to date by halfway through the year is up X percentage, does it for the second half of the year produce an outsized return? And you hypothesis, which is easy to test on historic market data. You might then test it on if a company is up over 100% in the first 6 months. Do I have an edge stage of buying into it for 1 month, the subsequent 2 months, the subsequent 3 months, 4, 5, 6. And that, as I say, is pretty easy to test and look into. It's not sophisticated enough. First of all, there'd be a data issue, and it's too simple an algorithm, a hypothesis, find statistical significance. Just so you know, I do 166% this year. No, it's a £173 billion company. Pre-profits are in the negative, and you might say, well, wait a minute, why have you got such a loss-making company? Because profitability is not the only factor which leads to stock prices moving up. Revenue growth and other factors are important as well. The whole point of a portfolio of, say, 25% in each, or 40 companies with 2.5% in each, is then you leave it alone. You don't keep staring at it, and instead you let it as is. I know one of the more popular ones amongst people is Raspberry Pi, not least because it's up 251%, so they've got incredibly excited off the back of that. Of course, if you're investing in the US markets, as I predominantly do, then you've got a lot more companies to choose from with these kind of numbers, whereas in the UK you've got relatively few, just because there are fewer listed companies. The FTSE 100 has 100 companies. The S&P 500 has 500 companies. Do the maths, let alone if you get to the NASDAQ and all the companies listed on the New York Stock Exchange, many of which are also foreign companies, which makes life a lot easier as well. Anyway, I'll do continued deep dives into this, including what academia is showing works in investing as well. If you'd like a free copy of one of my books, go to alpeshpatel.com/links. If you would like a free portfolio pension review, go to alpeshpatel.com/link, save this video, keep an eye on this data, and make sure you for more of these videos. Remember, if you follow, you don't automatically see the videos come up on your feed. It's a common misconception. Once you follow, you'll still need to look at who you're following and then click on their videos to make sure you, if anything, when the algorithms feed you less of that person you're following and more of people like them. Otherwise, there'd never be any social media growth. Okay, thank you very much.